Happy Friday, television family. Thanks for starting your day with us. Thanks for ending your day with us last night, I hope. On the NCWLIFE channel, I am Dan Kuntz. 9th day of May, 2025. My calendar tells me it's Friday, and it wouldn't lie to me. We're in for one more day of fairly bountiful sunshine. You can see behind me from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Still has some high clouds. They're not going to be particularly dense. They're going to be up there, and they're going to be, there'll be a tug of war between the clouds and the sun. But the sun's going to get the upper hand. In fact, today is going to be the last day of quite a bit of sunshine until next Tuesday. We're in for some unsettled weather. Still going to be fairly mild over the weekend, but the clouds are going to have the upper hand, I'm afraid. Mother's Day doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like it's going to be raining on Mother's Day, but we do have a chance of rain Saturday night into Sunday, and who's kidding who? We need it. We haven't had any measurable rain since April 9th. April 9th, we only had about half of the rain we should have gotten on a normal April, and of course, it's been a very dry May to boot. So not looking too bad for Mother's Day weekend. All those details are on the way. News, yes, sports. Of course, the Mariners had yesterday off. Blue Jays are in town. This is a real bone of contention for a lot of Mariner fans because, of course, the Blue Jays are Canada's team, and there is usually a rather large contingent of Blue Jay fans who come down from the Vancouver area and other parts to the north of us and cheer on their Blue Jays because Seattle is about as close to Canada as any team in the league, and they have a tendency to take over T-Mobile Park. But the Mariners are playing so good right now. Maybe there'll be more Mariner fans. We won't know until tonight. We'll preview that and a lot of prep action coming up this weekend. Almost everybody is in the playoffs now, except for the bigger schools. And in the back half of the program, you got two more chances to see the Apple Blossom musical put on by Music Theater of Wenatchee. Catch Me If You Can. Just two shows left. Tonight at 7:30, tomorrow night at 7:30 at the America Pack. That's it. So we talked to the two people who are putting the whole thing on. Haley Tolman is the director. Mark Belton is the producer. They both do their jobs very well, but you won't have to take my word for it. We'll talk to Haley and we'll talk to Mark on the stage at the America Pack in the back half of the program. Get your tickets. You can't put it off anymore. You can't even procrastinate anymore. That's how serious it is. Great show, too, I might add. Let's get going. We have a lot to get to, so let's do our tour, and there we go. As you can see, the high clouds, not real thick, and they're way up there in the atmosphere. It was a beautiful day yesterday, a little cooler than we anticipated. It was right around 68. That was our afternoon high, which is about normal. Normal's 70 this time of the year. It wasn't bad at all. It's going to be warmer than 68 today and slightly warmer than 68 tomorrow. But again, we'll have fairly cloudy conditions both Saturday and Sunday and most of Monday as well. Sunrise this morning was at 5:31. Sunset tonight, 8:24. 14 hours, 52 minutes of daylight. By this time next week, we'll be over the 15-hour mark. Our second camera is a slow dissolve to Lake Wenatchee. I'm sure Kettler Glen is open by now. I haven't been up there. Is this mosquito season up there, folks? You folks in Lake Wenatchee? It usually is this time of the year. Now I know they have mosquito control districts that everybody pays into a communal pool and they come out, they spray for mosquitoes, but for the most part, the mosquitoes get the upper hand. When you have a lot of standing water up at Lake Wenatchee, and they do, the mosquitoes can really get at you. They're really bad at Fish Lake. Occasionally, I don't know, but usually this is about prime mosquito season up there. Don't name your mosquitoes, by the way. You'll get emotionally attached, and then you won't be able to eat them. Camera number 3. Good morning, Lake Chelan. The lake continues to go up about 1.5 inches a day, roughly 1.5 inches a day. They're still a ways away to get the lake totally full. I still find that a remarkable engineering feat. They can actually control the level of a lake the size of Lake Chelan. That's our Lower Butte camera. Good morning to Chelan. They're getting ready for a busy tourist season, but they've never had a down tourist season except when the fires come. And camera number 4. Joseph, I think that Stein Hill flipped to the west. I'm going to guess, but I think that's a pretty good guess. The Stein Hill camera, high above beautiful Cashmere, just above the golf course, and I think if we flip that around, and I think we have, we see Dryden, we see a little sliver up to Shaston on our way to Leavenworth. The snow continues to melt up in the Cascades. I'm pretty sure that's the case there. There's the entrance to Alala Canyon to the right, so I'm pretty sure that's Stein Hill. And forever, I pluralized Stein. I called it Steins Hill, and then I was corrected a couple of years ago. It's just called Stein Hill. My bad. I got that fixed. One slide to show for you from the National Weather Service. We're in a bone dry conditions right now, but this is the probability of getting some kind of precipitation over the weekend for almost all of eastern Washington. So if you're traveling and you're heading someplace else, like maybe to Manson or up to Omak, because they got something going on this weekend, here's your chances of some light rain. And as you can see, Sunday night, overnight into Monday is the best chance for us. But even for us, we only have about a 30% chance of rain, and that would be midday on Monday. There's still a lingering chance of rain for the Wenatchee Valley late on Sunday. Saturday, Mother's Day, or Sunday, Mother's Day, should be dry for the most part. Deeper in the day, the better chance we have some light rain. It is going to be cloudy on Saturday, but this is your probability of getting some rain in many locations. And as you can see, the upper northeast quadrant of the state has the best chance of getting measurable rain. Everybody needs it. Everybody is in a drought. From the National Weather Service, temperature is going to go up a little bit. We were 68 yesterday. We'll be close to 80 today with quite a bit of sunshine. And again, this is the last day of bountiful sunshine until we get to Tuesday. We'll get down to 52 for the overnight low tonight, and the clouds will be rolling in while you're sleeping. You're going to wake up Saturday to clouds, and you're going to go to bed Saturday with clouds. No wind, just mostly cloudy, mild, 75. Nothing wrong with that. Don't have to worry about putting on too much sunscreen if you're heading about on Saturday. There's a lot going on, of course. This time of the year, everything starts happening. Sunday for Mother's Day, slightly cooler, slight chance of rain late in the day. High of 68 degrees. Hope it doesn't rain on your picnic. Monday, cooler still. Again, a 30% chance of rain. I wish it said 100. It doesn't, but that's what it is. And then we warm back up again to normal and sunny skies by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday. But the weekend, pretty cloudy and maybe at times in our viewing area a little wet. All right, after a 2-minute break, the headlines on this Friday. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
High clouds, 48 degrees. We'll see quite a bit of sunshine today. Very warm, close to 80. A significant cool down, not big, over the weekend. And we're going to have more clouds than sun. In fact, pretty cloudy both Saturday and Sunday. The sun will be back, they tell us, on Tuesday. It's 10 minutes after the hour. Grant County authorities began clearing a property on Hiawatha Road that had become occupied by a large homeless population, occupying more than 50 RVs and trailers. The area that became known as the Hiawatha Lake Camp over the last couple of years is owned by the Colville Confederated Tribes, and they asked for assistance from Grant County Sheriff's deputies to remove the trespassers. About 10 deputies served eviction notices on Wednesday, warning occupants that they had to remove their vehicles and belongings by 10 o'clock yesterday morning. With no oversight, the camp has become a source of law enforcement troubles, including an assault with a firearm back in March. Police say the eviction went forward with no complications. 42-year-old Caesar Adame of Moses Lake arrested Tuesday for his alleged involvement in methamphetamine trafficking. Moses Lake police say an investigation began last month after Adame was suspected of being involved in an assault and robbery. Police believe he was trying to intimidate the victim into joining his drug trafficking work. Detectives arrested Adame on suspicion of assault and robbery before conducting a search of his residence, which allegedly yielded 4 ounces of methamphetamine. They say the methamphetamine was hidden in various locations throughout the house, including a lunchbox, a baseball glove, even a fake flower pot. Adame was transported and booked into the Spokane County Jail on pending federal charges of distribution of methamphetamine. The Wenatchee Downtown Association celebrated the groundbreaking of the Majestic Apartments on Tuesday. They're not far from us, the 200 block of South Mission Street. The project belongs to Widener Apartment Homes. They're a Kirkland-based company. According to our media partner, the Wenatchee World, Widener also developed the Riverside 9 apartments, the Live Easy Street apartments, and the 600 Riverside apartment complex. The Wenatchee Downtown Association says the Majestic Apartments will include new retail spaces, streetscape improvements, and the renovation of the historic old Wenatchee jailhouse. The project completion date is tentatively set for spring or summer of 2027. Central Washington's first major wildfire of the season kicked off Wednesday west of Oroville. The Wanacott fire, reported about 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, is burning in forest and brush on the east shore of Wanacott Lake. Local emergency managers issued a level 1 evacuation advisory, letting nearby residents know to be aware of what's going on. Fire estimated at about 100 acres. The Washington State Department of Natural Resources, their spokesman Ryan Rudrick, says the agency has activated multiple resources to respond to the blaze. Cascade School District students saw the aftermath of a serious accident on Wednesday, but it was just a simulation meant to teach them an important lesson. The Arrive Alive event was a mock DUI accident demonstration. It was held at Cascade High School. The idea to teach students the potential consequences of impaired and distracted driving. The simulation included first responders from Chelan County Sheriff's Office, Cascade Medical, Life Flight, Chelan County Fire District Number 3, Lake Wenatchee, and others. The demonstration also included emergency response procedures and extricating people from accidents. The district said the initiative was not meant to shock or scare, but just to encourage students to make responsible choices. And managers and beneficiaries of the East Columbia Basin Irrigation District had a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Monday. They have a brand new water delivery system for farmers that was previously being served by the Odessa Aquifer, which is running out of water. The new pump system, designated EL-86-4, is the second one brought online in the Odessa groundwater replacement project. It's going to pump Columbia River surface water to irrigate more than 5,400 acres of farmland. Paid for with $32 million in state appropriations, the system eliminates the use of 16 subsurface wells and also conserves whatever's left of the water in the Odessa Aquifer, where supply has dropped due to decades of overuse. Good news for those folks. And that is the news. At 14 minutes after the hour, whether the news is good, bad, or otherwise, it's coming your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10. The NCWLIFE Evening News, that's when it airs on television. If you can't lock in those times, and we understand nowadays it's kind of hard to do that, our news will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock, on our YouTube page, right around 5 o'clock, and on our Facebook page, right around 4:57. And if you have a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, or better yet, send us an email. More people get emails. Our phones are on the fritz. news@ncwlife.com. Sports, most of it high school related. 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
17 minutes after the hour of sports, the Mariners host the Blue Jays tonight to start a 3-game series. Hopefully the roof will be open at T-Mobile Park. Seattle is 12-6 at home. They've played a lot of home games. They're 22-14 overall. The Mariners have a 10-5 record in games when they hit 2 or more home runs, so we want that to happen. Toronto was 6-12 on the road, 17-20 overall. The Blue Jays are 10-1 in games when they score 5 or more runs, and we don't want that to happen. First pitch, 6:40 on Root Sports. Pretty quiet day in baseball yesterday. The Rangers got shut out by the Red Sox. The final there was 5-0, and Toronto comes into town after beating the Angels, who have really been struggling. It was the Blue Jays over the Angels 8-5, so the Mariners lead over the Athletics, who didn't play. Neither did Seattle. Remains at 3 games over the Athletics and 4 games over the Astros. All right, prep baseball scores in the District 5 and 6 combined 1A playoffs. Connell defeated College Place 3-2. Zilla eliminated Omak. Omak is out after a great season, though, but Zilla beat them 3-2. And look who's going to play for the championship. Our old Caribou Trail League rivals. They're now in different leagues, of course, but Kashmir upset Royal on the road 7-3, and Chelan knocked off Natchez Valley 5-4 in the semifinals. So Kashmir and Chelan will play for the District 5-6 1A championship next Saturday. And in the 2B league playoffs, Liberty Bell shut out Tenasket 13-0. Okanagan dispatched Brewster. The final there was 10-6. So here's your schedule. In prep baseball, Lake Roosevelt will take on Davenport. Early start there at 3 o'clock. Doubleheader at Dan White Field. Eastmont welcomes Moses Lake. This is the last 2 games of the regular season, by the way, for the Big 9. 4 o'clock. Wenatchee heads down to West Valley. West Valley has already won the Big 9 championship. West Valley hasn't lost a league game, as a matter of fact. Wenatchee and West Valley doubleheader. First pitch, first game at 4 o'clock. And then it says Chelan and Kashmir for the title on Saturday. That game is actually going to be on May 17th. Prep softball schedule today. Eastmont will be at Moses Lake, doubleheader at 3:30. Again, this is the last games of the regular season for these folks as well. West Valley will be at Triangle Park in Wenatchee. Beautiful facility, by the way. 4 o'clock tonight for the doubleheader there. Prep softball schedule tomorrow. They're all playoffs now. These are the smaller schools. So in the Central Washington 2B League playoffs, Brewster and Tenasket will do battle in one semifinal at 11 a.m. That'll be followed by Okanagan and Lake Roosevelt in the other semifinal. But if they lose, you still have a chance. In a loser-out game in the District 5 2A playoffs, Prosser will be at Ephrata. We'll take on Ephrata, that game in Sela at 11 o'clock tomorrow at the same time, at the same location, but not on the same field. That would be odd. Ellensburg and Othello will do battle in a loser-out game. In the District 5 1A playoffs in Yakima, the gateway to Wapato, Chelan will take on Kashmir at 11 o'clock tomorrow in the semis, and Omak will take on Royal at 1:15. All right, let's move on to the pitch. The scoreboard in the District 1A 2B playoffs. District 5, while Luke defeated Connell 2-1, Wapato shut out Cascade 2-0, Brewster over Highland 2-0, Royal over Kashmir 1-0, but the losers still have a chance to make it to state. They just have a harder road to hoe. Prep soccer schedule looks something like this. Moses Lake and Eastmont will do battle at Wildcat Stadium, 7 o'clock tonight. We'll have that for you on the NCWLIFE channel. The Wenatchee Panthers have already won the Big 9 regular season title. They will host the district championship game on Thursday, and if Sunnyside upsets Wenatchee, they'll play each other again. Wenatchee will be at Sunnyside tonight at 7 o'clock. The smaller schools, is playoff time. In the District 5 1A 2B playoffs, Kashmir will be at Highland at 12 o'clock. Connell will do battle against Cascade at 6 o'clock on the pitch. And in the District 5 2A playoffs, Quincy will be at Grandview in a loser-out game at 12 noon tomorrow. Soccer tonight? Yeah, baby, we got it. It is Moses Lake at Eastmont, the last regular season game of the year. Again, as I mentioned, Wenatchee has already won the Big 9 title, but Moses Lake, Eastmont, West Valley, Sunnyside, they're all crammed in there together. Eisenhower too. So we don't know who's second yet. We'll know who's going to finish second and take on the Panthers for the district championship. And Eastmont could go a long way from doing that if they win tonight. The handsome and talented Sebastian Moraga and the even more handsome and more talented Matt Wiesen with the call. Pre-game at 6:45, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And Wenatchee Valley Bighorns, or the Wenatchee Bighorns, I like to say Valley, but what do I know? Vancouver will be in town tonight at the W.B. Smith Gymnasium, 7 o'clock tip-off there. And then Seattle will welcome Wenatchee to town Saturday at 7 o'clock in TBL basketball. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Your obscure holiday at 22 minutes after the hour. It's National Sleepover Day. It's National Spouse Appreciation Day. Don't have to worry about that. It's National Public Gardens Day. Friendly reminder, Omi Gardens, a season's pass at Omi Gardens is one of the best deals. It's incredibly affordable. You can come and go whenever Omi Gardens is open. You can go up and have your sack lunch there during the business day. Go up and bring a book and sit on a nice bench and enjoy Omi Gardens. I love Omi Gardens, so I thought I'd mention that. But today, now normally our obscure holidays are silly, frivolous, oftentimes stupid, but today is a solemn and serious occasion. We do this once a year, every May 9th. We bow our heads and remember the socks we have lost over the years. Today is National Lost Sock Memorial Day today. Time to mourn our losses, look back with fond memories of that one sock that all of a sudden doesn't match the other sock. I have a drawer in my dresser that is full of socks that have lost their partners along the way. So sometime today, please, ladies and gentlemen, remember that lost sock. And how do they get lost? I still think there's a conspiracy. I think that the manufacturers like Whirlpool and all those appliance manufacturers, I think they actually put a secret little compartment in your dryer that eats up one sock per load. Today is National Lost Sock Memorial Day. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's 24 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the famous Wasteland speech. Newton N. Minow, who was the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, addresses the annual NAB convention, the National Association of Broadcasters, in our nation's capital, and says, you guys can do better than this. What did Newton Minow say? He says, when television is good, nothing, not the theater, not magazines, not newspapers, not books, nothing is better than television when television is good. But when television is bad, nothing is worse. He said, I invite each of you to sit down in front of your own television set when your station goes on the air and stay there all day without a book, without a magazine, without a newspaper, without a profit and loss sheet or a ratings book to distract you. Keep your eyes glued to your TV set until your station signs off. I can assure you that you will observe a vast wasteland. Which reminds me of the great line from the comedian Fred Allen, Television is a medium that allows people with nothing to do watch people who can't do anything. His famous speech 64 years ago today. And who's kidding who? Most of the television shows from the 1960s just don't hold up today. They just don't. 45 years ago today, I once went over to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. It connects Tampa to St. Petersburg, Florida. It's a huge, huge bridge. May 9th, 1980, in a huge storm, a big squall, the captain of the MV Summit Venture lost control of the ship. This is a big ship. It collided with the Sunshine Skyway Bridge right over the middle of Tampa Bay. It made a 1,400-foot section of the southbound span collapse. 35 people in 6 cars and a Greyhound bus fell 100 feet into the water. Some died from the impact, some drowned, and then they had to build the bridge all over again. That was on this date in 1980. And the beginning of the end of Richard Nixon, May 9th, 1974, 51 years ago today, the United States House Committee on the Judiciary opens formal and public impeachment hearings against President Richard Nixon. It was televised nationwide, and for Richard Nixon, the beginning of the end of his presidency as things started going sideways. Highly rated national TV in the daytime. That's what housewives watched 51 years ago today. Let's do some birthdays. One heavenly birthday, Henry Kaiser, the father of American shipbuilding. He established the Kaiser shipyards, of course, in Portland. They built Liberty ships during World War II. It's a remarkable engineering achievement. They would build the entire ship, and then they would cut it in half, put it to sea, and put it back together again. He formed Kaiser Aluminum because he needed aluminum to build his ships. Eventually Kaiser Steel. He organized Kaiser Permanente Healthcare for his workers and their families, one of the best healthcare systems ever. He said, I have an obligation to take care of my employees. Two of my favorite quotes from Henry Kaiser, and it goes a long way. I make progress by having people around me who are smarter than I am, and then I listen to them. And advice number 2, when your work speaks for itself, shut up. Henry Kaiser, born in the state in 1882, a legend. The last living member of the Crickets, Sonny Curtis, is 88 years old today. He was a member of Buddy Holly and the Crickets before their rise to fame. And after Buddy Holly's tragic death in 1959, he rejoined the Crickets. He was a childhood friend of Buddy Holly. He wrote Walk Right Back, #1 hit for the Everly Brothers. He wrote I Fought the Law, big hit for the Bobby Fuller Four, and most importantly, for Sonny Curtis and his checkbook, he wrote the theme and sang the theme to the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Love is All Around, and in those days, in the early 1970s, the production company who owned the television show would simply buy the song from you. Sonny Curtis was offered something like $30,000 to sign away his publishing rights and his mechanical royalties to the owners of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and Sonny Curtis said, no, I want my mechanical royalties. I want to continue to own my song. So they had to pay him mechanical royalties, and it made Sonny Curtis a multimillionaire for collecting royalties, and he still does for writing the theme to the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Happy 88th birthday to the legendary Sonny Curtis. And speaking of legends, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, class of 1990. 33 top 40 hits, and he wrote every one of them. That is impressive. He is the 4th biggest selling solo artist in this country's history, and he is the 7th biggest selling recording artist worldwide anywhere. William Joel, Billy Joel, is 76 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike McDowdy has got an opinion, but I loaded it into the system yesterday, so I can't remember what it's about. We'll find out together. And then Catch Me If You Can, the highly popular Apple Blossom Festival musical put on by Music Theater Wenatchee, has 2 more days. That's it. Tonight at 7:30, tomorrow night at 7:30. And if you miss it, you've missed your chance. I had a chance to talk to the director, Haley Tolman, and the producer, Mark Belton, on the stage of the PAC yesterday. So you'll buy your tickets. We'll find out if it works. They'll join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Celebrate this great country during Rockfest in Rock Island the last Saturday in June. Great music, great bands, great fun. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Mark your calendars and be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music until the fireworks start crackling. Contact info@rlstalent.com if you would like to help sponsor this event or bring your awesome food truck. Space is limited. Rockfest at the Rock Island Golf Course, June 28th.
At Abby's, Toppings to the Edge is a promise we've kept for 60 years and counting. We load our pizzas with fresh ingredients, quality meats, and real cheese, so every bite is legendary. If you can find a better pizza, buy it. Abby's, you just can't top it. Right now, every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. This giant pizza serves up to 6 people and is at a very special price. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. We're family-owned Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
Time to update the bathroom or kitchen? KL Laminates could do it right. Avoid the franchise fees and subcontractors and work directly with local craftsmen. Tub to shower conversions? You bet. Using their durable laminates, available in hundreds of colors and stone-like patterns, will save you thousands. Get quality, timely work with top-flight materials from local craftsmen at a price you can afford. Call or go to krauselaminates.com for more information.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, it is my understanding that 2 local religious organizations are including firearms and other use of force training in their church-related activities. Now, this is fine. Church can do anything they want. But this type of thing has nothing to do with Christianity and absolutely nothing to do with promoting or building the kingdom of God. Yeah, I know. Jesus asked the disciples who had a sword prior to heading to the Garden of Gethsemane, but also said if you live by the sword, you're going to die that way too. Now, it's interesting. The Apostle Paul tells us that the kingdom of God is love, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit, and that the weapons of Christianity are not earthly, not firearms, but they're spiritual. Sorry, folks, but you know who you are, but you can't co-opt Jesus into justifying your paranoia. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for $0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. If you haven't done so already, you have 2 more chances to see the Apple Blossom musical put on every year by Music Theater Wenatchee. They've been doing it for 60 some odd years. During the Apple Blossom Festival, this year's production is Catch Me If You Can. Tonight, tomorrow night, no Saturday matinee, 2 shows left. Curtain rises at 7:30. We're talking to the director, Haley Tolman, who is the one who said, hey, Music Theater, let's do this. So first of all, Haley, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know you're busy. We're taping this on Thursday morning, so you have 1 show tonight, a show Friday, a show Saturday. That's it. It's all over. Months and months of preparation.
Yeah.
It'll come to fruition on Saturday night. Let's go back a few months. Somebody asked, what are we going to do for Apple Blossom?
Right.
What's available? How much is it going to cost?
Yeah.
You're the one who pitched Catch Me If You Can, the musical.
Yes.
Talk about why and your pitch, and the board said, yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. I love the show so much. I saw it for the first time when I was in college, and it was actually another college in the area that had done it. And I remember just watching it, and when the curtain closed at the end of the show, I was like, I have to be a part of this show. We have to do this show. And thankfully, I've had the opportunity with Music Theater of Wenatchee when they said, we need to start collecting some proposals for Apple Blossom. I thought, oh my gosh, that would be the perfect Apple Blossom show. It's high energy, it's a big cast, there's so much opportunity for different characters and different takes. And so I put a proposal together with the help of Mark Belton, my producer, and I brought it to our next board meeting and said, hey, this is my idea. Here's how much I think it's going to cost. Here's what we can do with it. And everyone seemed to agree that it would be such a great show, and I'm glad they did, because it's been so much fun. It's such a fun show.
Is the securing the rights from the right holders usually the biggest obstacle? Because that's the biggest part of the budget is writing them a check to do it.
And actually, surprisingly not. No, I mean, we have never had issues with working with MTI is who we get our rights through with the show, and they're always so great with working with our rep and getting the show secured, making sure that we can actually do it. And once that happens, I mean, everything else is a much bigger process. Rehearsing the show, trying to put it together, build the sets, build the costumes, all of that really is huge in comparison to just starting out the show.
MTI is an acronym for Music Theater International, which Music Theater Wenatchee is a member of. So do you compare notes to other music theater organizations in other communities? Hey, this musical worked for us, this maybe not so much. We had issues with this, not with that. Is there a lot of that back and forth?
Sometimes, yeah, depending on the production. Being a volunteer community organization, we have a lot of connections with organizations just like us. And I mean, to the point where we have, traded costumes before, sold off set pieces to different theaters. And it's really fun to talk with them and say, hey, this worked for us, you can try it out, and have them vice versa. Hey, this worked for us, why don't you try it out in your show? So that's always a really fun experience to see what someone else has done with the show or what we've done with the show, and see that carry over.
Casting, never easy.
No.
It's never easy to do. You done good, and unlike a lot of musicals where there's a dominant lead, male or female, be it Sound of Music or Fiddler on the Roof, when they're on stage 80% of the time. That's not the case with this show.
Yeah, this show was very hard to cast. We had so much talent, and we have such a large ensemble that plays so many different characters. I mean, each person in our ensemble plays at least 4 different characters. And it was so difficult to sit down and say, well, any one of these people could be in any one of these roles. How do we even delegate this? It was a long process. It took a few hours, but ultimately, we landed on such a strong casting. I mean, our leads are fabulous. Our ensemble is super strong. I mean, they're all picking up the choreography so quickly, to the point where, we got to rehearsals where I had allotted 3 hours for a rehearsal time, and we get through an hour, and I thought, we don't have to work on this anymore. What do we do with our time?
Was the biggest prerequisite the ability to sing the songs associated with that character, and we'll teach you everything else? We'll teach you the choreography, we'll teach you where to hit the marks. But if you can sing your song, you have a pretty good chance?
Well, and it depends too, because I mean, especially being in the ensemble, if you're not a strong singer, if you're not a strong dancer, I mean, you can make up for it in other categories. Really, all we're looking for is confidence and stage presence, because everything else can be built. You know, we can teach you to sing a song, we can teach you choreography. You just need to have that stage presence and that emotion and that character. And then we can really build from there, which is a fun thing to do as a director.
And the theater is big enough to have a pretty sizable crowd, but close enough to the stage where the folks can pick that up. They can pick up facial expressions and things like that.
Absolutely. And it's so fun to look back at photos that we've taken from rehearsals where, you know, oh, I can see who's standing up in the balcony because they're smiling, and I can see that face all the way from the back of the house.
If you've seen the movie, the musical is about 75% true to the movie, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it actually, it follows it very, very, very closely. It's really fun to see. I grew up watching the movie. It was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Probably because of Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, because of Leonardo DiCaprio. And so after watching the movie and then seeing the show, it's so funny to go through, and I mean, even some of the same exact lines from the movie translate over to the musical. And then it's fun to go back and watch the movie because you see, oh, well, this is where they'd be doing this musical number is in this scene, and it follows it fairly closely.
When you, after the casting process was done, did you encourage your cast members, especially those on stage the most, to watch the movie or to not watch the movie?
I did actually, and a lot of people had already seen it. And then we had a really fun event actually here at the PAC where we, for one of their monthly movies, we showed Catch Me If You Can, the movie, and my whole cast came, and we were able to sit with people in the community and watch the movie together and kind of promo our musical a little bit. And so that was a fun opportunity for some of my cast members who hadn't seen the movie before, and a lot of people who had. We got to experience it all in one place, and they had the same exact reactions of, oh my gosh, this is what happens in the musical. This is this scene. I'm like, yeah, it is, exactly.
Was there a certain part during the rehearsal process, as the director, you're in charge of the artistic presentation, casting and making sure that the folks are entertained? Was there at what point during rehearsals did you think to yourself, they got it? I think we're going to be okay.
It was when we had first moved into the PAC. You know, we have our move-in day a couple weeks before we open, and the very first time we ran through the full show, they got it. I mean, the dances were there, the music was there, the lines were there. Of course, there were a handful of things that, oh, we need to tweak that a bit being in a new space. But I mean, I remember sitting with my assistant director, Stacia McCrae, and thought, this is gonna be so easy. They are making it so easy on us.
But on the other side, and every director goes through this, at what point did you slap your forehead and said, what did I get myself into?
Oh gosh, some of those first blocking rehearsals and trying to figure out, we have a lot of big numbers that have lines in between and all these different orchestra things that have to line up, and trying to build together even just the opening number for the first time. It took us a while to get the timing right on it. And I remember after that first rehearsal, I was like, oh gosh, why did I pick this show? Did I want to pick a show this big? Why did I take this on? But I'm glad we did, because we got there, and when we got there, it is something really special.
It's a musical, which means there's a band.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of musicals, and I noticed there's a lot of songs
in
this, more than a typical musical. That must be a challenge.
It is, and you know, the music is hard too, not just for the singers, but I mean, there are so many people in our band who have made comments of, this is the toughest music I've ever had to play, because it's all jazz. I mean, you're playing your own notes and you can't rely on anybody else to follow. And it's the same thing with the singers. I mean, all those 8-part harmonies where you have 2 people on their own trying to pull a note out of thin air, and they better get it.
Saturday night, May 10th, say 10 o'clock in the evening. What are you doing? Because it's done.
Giving everybody a hug and going to bed.
No after party?
You know, we'll see how I'm feeling.
Okay.
It's been a long process, and I'm very thankful for everybody in the process, but it's been a lot, but it's worth it.
She's done a heck of a job, and I guess I'll ask you the last question, Haley. Hopefully Mark will be joining us shortly. He's supposed to be here. I haven't seen Mr. Belton yet, the producer. I'll give you one more question before I cut you loose. As a director, did you have to shove people in certain directions, or were they pretty receptive to your critiques and your instructions as a director?
I say that everybody was fairly receptive to my notes and my pushes and the different things to shape the scene. I give bare bones, you know, I give them the room. I say, here's your room, here's what needs to happen, try it. And then I let them decorate the room however they want, you know? And if there's something that needs to be tweaked, I just push them in that direction of, I really loved how you were doing this. Can we try adding this? And at the end of the day, it's just very cumulative of everybody's creative styles and their different uniqueness that they bring to the stage, which is really magical to see.
And it's amazing to see just normal, everyday people that we all know on stage plying their craft, and you're thinking, that's the gal that cleans my teeth, and that's my insurance agent.
Exactly.
And he's up there singing and dancing.
Oh yeah, I know, we joke. We have doctors and lawyers and baristas and all sorts of different people in the show that, yeah, you look out in the audience and all their coworkers are here, and it's so fun to see just everyday people on stage shining.
Again, just 2 shows left as of this airing, Friday night at 7:30, Saturday night at 7:30. If you come in Sunday for the matinee, don't, because they ain't going to be here. They'll all be asleep, and then they got to come in and take all this stuff down again. So, and special, and I know you want to thank the crew at the PAC. Absolute total pros, all of them, from the backstage folks
oh my gosh.
to Mike Locke and his crew. They're the best.
Everybody at the PAC is great. Everyone in my cast is great. Everybody who has volunteered for the shows, I mean, front of house and behind the scenes, just has been so amazing, and we couldn't have done this show without any of them.
Mark Belton is the producer. He's supposed to be here. If he is, we'll interview him. If he's not, we'll be right back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
And we are back. We have a Mark Belton sighting. He made it here. He is the producer of Catch Me If You Can. The producer does everything that the director doesn't do. Basically, it is a hell of a big job. Mark, you've taken on the role of producing this musical. My understanding is you've done a heck of a job. For those of you who don't know, I know the role of the producer is basically everything that doesn't have to do with the artistic presentation of the show. It's a big role. Talk about why you decided to do it.
Well, I've produced a number of shows, starting with our children's production, Short Shakes. I've done that for a number of years. And last year, produced Grease. And so it was a no-brainer with the amazing artistic group that put together this show that I wanted to be on that same page with them. So it is a big job. Do a little bit of everything from emailing at every moment during the show while everyone's watching. I'm sitting in the back row trying to get all the communication out. Luckily, we've got our partners here at New American Performing Arts Center, and they've helped a ton with that. They do all the marketing, and that's been great.
And you do it just because you love doing it.
It is true. I love doing it. I love being involved. A lot of people on the stage are my friends, and so it's always like being backstage with your family and having a good time.
2 of the main cast members have already done the NCWLIFE channel. They were on Mike Bignotti's show, whose name I forgot already, Street something or other. Mm-hmm. So when I do these profiles of some of the big shows put on by Music Theater or anybody else, I like to talk to the people behind the scenes because they don't get nearly the love that the folks who are on stage get. When the show is over and they come out and take their bows and the crowd stands up and cheering, they're not cheering for the set decorators and the set builders and the costume designers and the prop people. Let's give them some of those folks some love. Okay. First of all, this is a period piece, which for your costuming people, might have been a bit of a challenge.
Yes, so we have two great costumers that worked on this, Cheryl Sutherland and Connie Morris. Both are seasoned costumers for us for Music Theater of Wenatchee. They have done a fabulous job of pulling from music theater's archives and sourcing some other pieces, and then making, of course, some specific things. We were just talking about how those in the audience and even our actors on stage sometimes don't realize the amount of effort and research and choice that goes into everything they see, every set piece, every prop piece, every costume. Our prop mistress, as we call her, Jill Sheets, has researched exactly what kind of alcohol bottle would have been there, or
in 1962.
In 1962, right? What the tape that our the seamstress uses, they wouldn't have had the tape that we see today, and so every piece is sourced or made or pulled from the music theater archives as well.
And this thing does not build itself.
It is true. So we've Mike Locke has designed this, and Tony Talbot has built our set. And we love the oohs and ahs that we get when the curtain goes up and the lights come on. People are just blown away.
How much of this set is stuff that Music Theater has already owned and had stored that they could bring back out, and how much of this had to be created essentially from scratch?
Yeah, good question. So there's some of it is some pieces that we can use. They're called Triscuits, but otherwise everything is handmade and designed for this specific show.
And it's all in the detail, isn't it? And folks can pick that up.
Yes, everything is a very specific choice that we've made, from what we face it with to the colors that we use. It's all makes one big picture for everyone.
I've seen a lot of shows here. Sometimes the band is under the stage, sometimes they're back of the stage. They're on top. That's a nice
right.
touch.
Yes. Yep, we love that they're part of it. Part of what's happening on the stage this year. They've got a couple of fun little bits that they get to play into, and the crowd has been loving the music. Just last night, someone at the convention center said it sounds like there's a party happening in there, and for sure we're having a good time.
And Haley mentioned some of the musical numbers are pretty complicated to sing and to play.
Yes, we have just an amazingly talented cast, and one of the numbers that catches everyone, there is a tap number, and we heard from some bystander yesterday that saw us walking down the street saying, I can't believe how great that was, and we said, only 4 of those people have ever tapped before. So our choreographers have taken this group and done amazing things. So huge shout out to Allison Cooper and Katie Perez.
Between the cast and the backstage people that we just talked about, 120, I'm guessing, making this happen around
I would say if you counted up everyone, you'd be right around that 100 mark, yeah.
And how many of those people are getting paid? A big fat zero. They do it because they love it.
That is true.
And the community loves it back. This is an amazing, I mentioned this to almost everybody I've talked to, the theater talent for a town this size and an area this size, we got lucky. What is it in the water? Why do we have all of this local talent who can put on such a professional show as Catch Me If You Can? Where does it come from?
It's a good question, and I think that it is really, our area has fostered the arts at a very young age, and if you look around, you'll see lots of children's programs, and we see those kids coming up through the ranks. Also, we have a lot of dance companies here in our area, and that's where you see a number of these people are fabulous feet dancers. We have epic motion dancers here, and they love to put on a show for everyone.
Mark Belton is the producer. You'd have no idea how many hours he's put in to make this whole thing happen, dating all the way back to when Music Theater Wenatchee's board said, here's a check, go get them. And here we are. I'll ask you the last question I asked Haley. Saturday night, 10 o'clock, what are you going to be doing?
Planning for Sunday when we tear it all down.
The fun never stops.
It never stops.
When you're the producer.
Right.
Mark, have a great time. Again, Friday night, Saturday night, that's it. If you show up Sunday to watch the show, you ain't going to be watching the show. You're going to watch these guys haul stuff out the back alley. Mark Belton, good to see you, my friend.
Good
Best
to
of
see
luck
you too.
In August.
Yes, thank you.
And hopefully you won't have to worry about running a campaign.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Opening day for the Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market is Saturday, May 10th. Pick up your fresh, locally grown produce at the Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 to 1. Early season favorites like asparagus, peas, radishes, potatoes, rhubarb, green beans, kale, plus starter plants, original arts and crafts, soaps, candles, plants, and lots of goodies to snack on.
Spring into the good life. World-class wine, food, and hospitality meet on the shores of Lake Chelan. Chelan Cellars, bringing great wine, food, friends, and family together where vineyards and the good life bloom every spring.
Tipsy Canyon Winery has become the place to go for fine wine and unbelievable views of the Chelan Valley. Tipsy Canyon Winery is a year-round destination for wine lovers, so stay for the moment that becomes the memory at Tipsy Canyon Winery.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, Washington Trust Bank can help you get there. Learn more at watrust.com/awesome.
Mother's Day weekend is almost upon us. And of course, as I mentioned this yesterday, in case I forget, for all of you mothers out there on Sunday, I want to wish you all a happy birthday. It looks like it's going to be kind of cloudy, though, this weekend. If you like bountiful sunshine, today is the day, because sunshine all day is going to happen again until Tuesday of next week. We're pinched between two systems. This is the last of the ridge that was in the southwest part of our country that eked on up here. We're going to see temperatures 10 degrees warmer today than we saw yesterday. But then the low pressure that's just off the coast of our state is going to eke its way in. Temperatures are going to be fairly nice, but the clouds are going to, well, they're going to be dominating the weather starting tonight and really lasting through Monday. But there is a chance, finally, of some measurable rain. We have not had any measurable rain for over a month. We had a bone dry April. We only got half the amount of rain that we normally get for April. We haven't had any measurable rain since April 6th. That might change this weekend for the Wenatchee Valley and all of eastern Washington. So we hope we get a little bit of rain. The best chance for rain here is going to be Sunday night into Monday morning. Even that's only about a 30% chance of rain, but we'll take whatever it is that we can get rain-wise, because we need the rain. All right, let's get right to it. From the National Weather Service, your Mother's Day weekend forecast looks something like this. After a high of 68 yesterday, will be at least 10 degrees warmer than that. Could even get into the lower 80s. You folks out in Grant County, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Soap Lake, you could get warmer than that. Omak, you could also get to 80 degrees today. And again, quite a bit of sunshine. The high clouds are already beginning to thin out a little bit. Mostly cloudy tonight, 53 for the overnight low. This is when the system comes in. This weather pattern returns tonight. Going to be hanging around all day Saturday. Saturday, very benign, just lots of clouds. No wind, no rain, just clouds, and fairly mild, a high of 75 degrees. And we're finally going to see the relative humidity get a little bit higher on Saturday. The air has been absolutely bone dry for the last couple of weeks for reasons I don't know. But that's just what it is. It's a strange weather phenomenon that's been going on. And for the rest of the weekend, again, Sunday, Mother's Day, mostly cloudy. Any rain that we get would be very late in the day, maybe even into the evening hours. Best chance of rain is overnight, Sunday night into Monday. There's our big cool down, and then the rest of the week looks pretty good with highs back up into the 70s. Quick programming reminder, our last prep regular season broadcast is tonight. The Moses Lake Mavericks will be in East Wenatchee to take on the Eastmont Wildcats. Big, important important match for Eastmont if they want to climb higher in the Big Nine standings. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen with the call. We'll have it for you tonight at 7 o'clock in case you can't make it out. And have a great Mother's Day weekend. Start next week with us. Until then, bye-bye.